Good morning, children. I welcome you back once again to your class of English. Before the summer vacations, you have read chapters and poems from your main reader textbook. And now, today, I am going to take up the first chapter from your supplementary reader book named Footprints Without Feet. And the title of the chapter is A Triumph of Surgery, and it is written by James Herriot. Now this chapter talks about a small dog named Tricky who is pampered a lot by his mistress, that is the owner. And the name of the owner is Mrs. Pumphrey. Now she feels that by feeding him a lot and extra is the way she can take better care of the dog. But as the story will proceed, you will see that this extra care, so-called extra care in terms of Mrs. Pumphrey, leads the dog towards his end. But thankfully, the veterinary doctor whom she consults takes everything into his notice and brings the situation under control. The dog had to leave the house, all the comfort, and stay in the hospital with other dogs for a fortnight. And how the dog changed, how the doctor saved his life, that is the very interesting part, as it makes us understand the difference between pampering and care. People often confuse the meaning of these two words because the meaning of these words sound more or less the same. But there is a very thin line between care and pampering. So let's start with the story. I was really worried about Tricky this time. I had pulled up my car when I saw him in the street with his mistress, and I was shocked at his appearance. He had become hugely fat, like a bloated sausage with a leg at each corner. His eyes, bloodshot and rheumy, stared straight ahead, and his tongue lolled from his jaws. Now, narrator, you have to tell me who is the narrator. So the narrator was very worried about Tricky this time. Now Tricky is the dog around whom the whole story is revolving. So he pulled up his car as he saw him one day on the street along with his mistress. Now mistress over here refers to the owner of the dog. And the narrator was shocked to see the dog because the dog was so full, so fat, that it seemed as if it was a round pillow having 4 legs on each end. He could hardly breathe. His tongue was hanging loosely from his jaws. His eyes were red, bloodshot and rheumy, that is watery. Next paragraph. Mrs. Pumphrey hastened to explain. He was so listless, Mr. Herriot. He seemed to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition, so I have been giving some little extras between meals to build him up. Some malt and cod liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks at night to make him sleep. Nothing much really. Now, Mrs. Pumphrey could make out from the expression of the doctor, that is Mr. Herriot, that now she is going to hear nicely from the doctor. So before the doctor could say anything, she herself starts in haste explaining the doctor that she was so worried when she saw the dog listless, that is not very active or not doing well, and she thought that he is not having enough energy to walk and play. So she thought that he must be suffering from some malnutrition, that is he is not healthy or he is sick. So she started giving him some extra meals in between the schedule that the doctor had told her, so that she could make him much more energized. So she started giving him cod liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks at night so that he could sleep really well. After listening to this, the doctor said, "And did you cut down on the sweet things as I told you?" The doctor asked Mrs. Pomfrey कि जो मैंने आपको उसकी स्वीट चीज़ों को कम करने के लिए बोला था, क्या आपने उसे कम किया? "Oh, I did for a bit, but he seemed to be so weak, I had to relent. He does love cream cakes and chocolates, so I can't bear to refuse him." एंड शी सेड कि हाँ कुछ दिन के लिए किया था, बट मुझे लगा कि मेरा एटीट्यूड बहुत ही हार्श हो रहा है क्योंकि वो मुझे बहुत कमज़ोर लग रहा था एंड मुझे पता है कि उसको क्रीम्स और चॉकलेट केक बहुत पसंद है. सो आई हैव स्टार्टेड गिविंग हिम अगेन. I looked down again at the little dog. That was the trouble. Tricky's only fault was greed. He had never been known to refuse food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day or night. And I wondered about all the things Mrs. Pumphrey hadn't mentioned. वो डॉक्टर का एक्सप्रेशन ट्रिकी को देखने के बाद इतना घबरा गई थी देखकर कि उन्होंने बहुत सारी बातें डॉक्टर को बताई, लेकिन बहुत सारी ऐसी बातें थी जो डॉक्टर को उन्होंने नहीं बताई ना. इतना पढ़ के हमें ये तो क्लियर हो जाता है कि दिस इज़ द सेम डॉक्टर जिनसे उन्होंने ट्रिकी को परचेज़ किया है. वेटनरी डॉक्टर्स होते हैं जो कि पपीज़ सेल करते हैं अलग अलग ब्रीड्स के. तो और हर ब्रीड की अलग अलग क्वालिटीज़ होती हैं, अलग अलग डाइट होती हैं, अलग अलग गेम प्लान होता है, अलग अलग उनका बीमारी होती है. तो ट्रिक्सी को जब उन्होंने मिसेस पम्फ्रे को हैंड ओवर किया था तो उन्होंने ट्रिक्सी के लिए कुछ डूज़ एंड डोंट्स बताए थे जो कि अब इतना पढ़ के आई गेस आप लोगों ने भी समझ लिया होगा और गेस कर लिया होगा कि मिसेस पम्फ्रे ने उसमें से कुछ भी फॉलो नहीं किया एंड शी बिकेम अ डॉक्टर हरसेल्फ टू ट्रिकी एंड वट एवर शी फेल्ट लाइक फीडिंग हिम शी फेड हिम. एंड ट्रिकी के साथ प्रॉब्लम क्या थी कि वो बहुत ही ग्रीडी डॉग था. वो कभी किसी चीज़ को मना ही नहीं करता था, वो किसी भी समय कुछ भी जो दिया जाता था वो खा लेता था. आर यू गिविंग हिम प्लेंटी ऑफ एक्सरसाइज? वेल, ही हैज़ हिज लिटिल वॉक्स विद मी एज यू कैन सी, बट हॉटकिन द गार्डनर हैज़ बीन डाउन विद लम्बेगो, so there has been no ring throwing lately. To further understand the situation, doctor asks Mr. Pumphrey that is he doing the plenty of exercise that I told you to, his exercise regime, is he following it? She again very hastily says that yeah, he comes out for a little walk like he is on right now, but the ring throwing activity has stopped lately because वो मेरे गार्डनर का रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी था एंड सिंस ही इज सफरिंग फ्रॉम पेन इन मसल्स एंड जॉइंट्स इन द लोअर बैक, द नेम ऑफ द डिसीज इज लम्बेगो, सो दैट एक्टिविटी इज रियली नॉट टेकिंग प्लेस.